Hey, what's up, everyone? Um, as you can see, there's this awesome snowstorm. So, waiting for a contract on site here. My paint's gonna get wiped out. I want to make a post yesterday on Twitter, but the nuance and depth necessary to get across my feelings on the FAQ um, cannot properly be surmised in a single tweet. The character limit just does not have the capacity for my thoughts. Um, so I'm going to start off by first saying C minus Games Workshop, be better, period. Now, a lot of people expected better, and maybe that's on them. Their expectations weren't mitigated properly, and you know what? Sure. But you've called it the big winter FAQ for 2 years in a row now. While I'm on this, though, they have called it the big winter FAQ, not the big December FAQ, not the big January FAQ. That is on us. That we expected it in December, I think, in 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 a storm of geopolitical nonsense and pandemia. That's kind of crazy that we felt like, hey, this is totally going to be December. And then like we made a huge deal out of the whole like ha 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 waiting for it thing. Like, okay, that was a fun meme, but like I don't know, if there were people sincerely expecting it to happen around December, that's kind of crazy to me. Um, but to expect it to be big, as the name denotes, I think that's more than fair. Like, we expected it to be big. Now, at this point, I think we're in that old adage of, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Because last year it wasn't big either. We were kind of mad about that. Deadly as ever, and so on and so forth. Like, so at this point, like, yeah, expectations, mismanaged, etc., etc. But, like, a lot of those expectations are on Games Workshop setting them. Whether through non-communication, which is essentially their path usually. Like, they opt not to say things. They see everything. They see Rob Symes, the honest wargamer, making his sign post, and that's really, really funny. And I almost think that they probably like goaded him a bit by releasing it like the day after he had his little meme thing. I probably need to Photoshop one of those to say mission accomplished on it now, because maybe Rob roasting them got it to work. I don't know. In any case, Games Workshop knows that fans were in a fervor. They opted to give a bad excuse. Now, this goes back to expectations. What did we expect? 40K has always been the flagship. It's always been priority A number one, triple stamped, right? Like, they've always prioritized 40K. So yeah, they don't have enough data for Age of Sigmar, yada yada yada. That's a bad take. But like, man, did any of us expect for them to like really? I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm foolish that we expected them to care enough about Age of Sigmar. I think that's helped them get record profits, years in a row now, consecutively. That will continue to be a gold mine going forward if they don't screw it up. But like, this was a screw up. I mean, pandemic wise, it was a screw up. Now, the fan base shouldn't be kind of crummy about it. Like, we shouldn't be roasting each other and DMing people. I don't know. Like, I'm in a weird place where like I'm disappointed in Games Workshop. Namely their communication. I'm very disappointed in their communication. I was willing to mitigate my expectations and expect nothing if you didn't call it the big winter FAQ and you said, hey, yeah, we got 3.0 coming down the pipeline. We've got a lot of priority into that, so we didn't do much here. Or, hey, we're gonna do the most. I don't know. it's hard because if they had just done like dropping the points on a few units that nobody cares about to like add more variety back into the game, they'd have been roasted for that too. So I don't know. Maybe they thought doing basically nothing was about as good as doing a bunch of like symbolic nothing. I don't know what they think. I don't know. I really don't care. I care about the people. I don't care about the company. It's a capitalist society pretty much across the world. And capitalism good to capitalism, yo. We're going to continue to expect a company to be better. No, I think like a company's gonna try to make money. Right now, this negativity engine of like people fighting over the winter FAQ is just boosting their signal. It's free advertising for Games Workshop. In fact, maybe this is some master stroke. I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on instead of my high-vis hat. It could be a master stroke. You know what's going to happen now is everyone's going to move their expectations onto 3.0 fixing everything. The Games Workshop has never fixed everything. I'm not telling you to like accept that, but I'm frustrated because at what point do you draw the line between like, yeah, we kind of know what their shtick is, I don't know. Like I've got no answers, everybody. I've got nothing. I'm disappointed. I'm just in a word, I am disappointed. I'm disappointed in Games Workshop, especially their communication. I mean, there were some home run point changes they could have made. I'm not even talking about Croak. You don't need to touch Croak. Leave him alone. Yeah, keep us angry about Croak. Whatever, that's fun. Like, if he's destroying your local scene, you're going to tell people not to play him, and if he's destroying your tournament, you're going to say, hey, no Croak, just like one of the big TTS tournaments. That was most certainly data Games Workshop should have been paying attention to. Saying, yeah, you can't play the top 5 armies or whatever. Like, we as a community, as a fandom, we never hesitate to change stuff at a grassroots level to affect our enjoyment. And do, dear viewers, continue to do that. That's what I like about Age of Sigmar as a community. We're not always suckling at the teat of Games Workshop to dictate how we have fun with our game. They may produce the game, but it is our game. As evidenced by the fact, if we don't buy it, it's dead. And maybe that's what you do. Maybe instead of roasting some guy in a DM, you don't buy their shit. Show them that you're angry at them and don't buy it. Because that's the only thing they're going to understand at the end of the day. You can make as many cute memes standing in front of a statue as you want. At the end of the day, what's going to matter is whether you pay for it or not. And now, I'm not telling you, specifically, dear human, to not buy something that brings you joy. But if you are the type of person who is moved to be angry on the internet, then vote with your dollar. The grandstanding doesn't do any of us justice. It only helps the evil corporation. By boosting their signal. By keeping that negativity engine that is social media just churning. And by feeding into people's mismanagement of expectations. By either simping the company or tearing each other down and shifting expectations now onto 3.0. That's what they want. And again, I'm not telling anyone to go out and protest with your dollars if that's not what you're inclined to do. I need to make that clear. I don't make it a habit of telling anyone how to spend fucking anything. But this... How much of this is that like we're all in like kind of a funky place? You know, I ask openly, philosophically. You know, I notice that I'm defending like two sides whenever I go on Twitter. I'm like, hey, don't, you know, like, yeah, disappointed in Games Workshop. Hey, like, don't be a simp. And then like also being like, but what did you expect? Like I'm like running the spectrum of responses to people. It's just, again, I'm not telling you specifically what to do. Do what you will. But maybe just don't take the negative route. I don't care about the company. I care about the people. It's generally how I operate in life. And the people in Age of Sigmar deserve better from the company. And importantly deserve to treat each other better. I guess that's all I'll say about that. Take care of yourselves and each other, everybody. Be excellent to each other. Oh, and of course, drink your milk, pay your taxes, yada yada. You know. See you later.